Possibilities are all around us. Everywhere we look, we see opportunity. We see potential in unexpected places. And when we share our knowledge, vision, and connections, we turn great ideas into action. In communities all around the world that we call home. Like transforming an old bus to feed hungry children, or providing life-saving equipment to those who need it most. From fighting disease to rebuilding schools, together we can make real change happen. We're Rotary. We are people of action. Get involved today at Rotary.org.
And welcome to the Rotary Club meeting of March 10th, 2021. It is my pleasure to introduce our president, Diva Alfaro.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Welcome to the San Dimas Rotary. I am Diva Alfaro, and I just want to say what a pleasure it is to have the people that are here with us, those that do this on a everyday basis to help others. And just I want to just kind of share with everybody in the joy of how it feels to help others. It's so important to be able to just reach out and be a helping hand to others. We might not think that it just by saying hello or acknowledging or just giving a meal or giving a canned good might not be that impactful, but it is for someone that's in need. So just wanted to bring that out there. And if I can have Michael Wallace lead us to our Pledge of Allegiance.
I don't believe Mike is here.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm just going to choose Derek.
Sounds good. All right, everyone. Hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Derek. And then I would like to have our invocation led by Casey, because he does it so well.
Wondering if you're going to give me a title there, our resident prayer. Let's pray. Let's invocate. Almighty God, we thank you and we praise you for the rain that has just come to Southern California. May it nourish the soil. May it bring life to the flowers. May it awaken the potential for new growth. And Lord, may we have that same effect as we come into people's lives to serve, to empower, to equip, and to awaken them that we can change the world together. So we thank you for new life, we thank you for new hope, and we thank you for the opportunity to be refreshed. May today's Rotary meeting refresh each of our hearts in this way. Amen.
Thank you, Casey. And next time I'm going to introduce you that way. So I'd like to just do introductions, and I'll go ahead and start. Again, my name is Diva Alfaro. I am a licensed loan officer, and I have been a Rotarian for over 3 years. I'll go ahead and, since I have Casey's face right in front of me, I'll pass it to Casey.
Yeah, Casey's face. My name is Casey. I am a past president and a Rotarian for about 8 years here in San Dimas. Loved almost every minute of it. No, I'm just kidding. I really have had a great time in the journey. Love our community. I'm also a leadership and health coach, and so I'm always about gathering with individuals to reach their fullest potential and change the world around them. And that's why I'm a part of Rotary, because we do just that. We change the world around us. Glad you're here today.
Thank you, Casey. I'll go ahead and pass it to Raymond Foster.
Hi, Raymond Foster, President-elect. Now I've come back from my weekend at PEST training, President-elect training. I'm now official, so that's very cool.
Thank you. You've always been official, Raymond. We'll go ahead and pass it on to Derek.
My name is Derek Bapineau. I live in San Dimas, and I'm a teacher in Baldwin Park Unified.
Thank you. I'll pass it on to Mary Ann.
I'm Mary Ann Kistler. I'm a past president. I'm current foundation chair. I've been in Rotary for over 25 years.
Thank you, Mary Ann. I see you now, Mike.
It's nice to be seen. I'm Mike Wallace. I'm the president of Better Home Financial, mortgage broker in downtown San Dimas. I have been a Rotarian about 6 years, past president, and happy to be here and serving the community.
Thank you. And Steve?
Thanks, Diva. Good afternoon. My name is Steve Scott. I am the current treasurer of the club, past president, and I've been a member now for about 11 years, and I'm a State Farm agent in San Dimas.
Thank you, Steve. And can I have Mr. Clark introduce himself?
Good morning, family. Reggie Clark. I am the program manager for Volunteers of America.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem.
Okay. So if I did not miss anybody, I have the pleasure of introducing our guest speaker today, Mary Tawadros. She works for Volunteers of America, the Hope for Home Service Center in the city of Pomona. She is their partner relations specialist, networking with various churches and organizations to donate monetary gifts, food, hygiene, and clothing items. Also, as their PR person, she has presented in various conferences and platforms with key important dignitaries of the community. She helps produce programs and maintaining activities at Hope for Home Service Center. Although there is still a pause at this time, pre-COVID, she screened all volunteers. Mary is amazing at organizing showcase fundraisers, bringing people together for great causes such as providing needs for the homeless, stopping human trafficking, saving art spaces, and various causes. She has hosted 5 fundraisers, including co-hosting with Daniela Alcedo from LAHSA for a weekend to end homelessness for the Volunteers of America. Mary Tawadros, aka Egyptian Princess, I had to say that, which is her artist name, is passionate about the many gifts that God has given her as an author, visual artist, poet, host, curator, life coach, and master of networking poets, musician, comedian, and artist. So thank you so much for joining us, Mary. I pass it on to you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. So nice to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really honored just for the opportunity to share about Hope for Home Service Center. It's been 8 years in the making. And as of 2018, we did open the doors for our homeless participants, moving them from the Armory present to the Service Center. During 2018, going into 2019, there was a lot of still major groundbreaking construction happening. So it was a working site in the process of fulfilling all the buildings and just actually creating the full platform for our participants. 2019 officially was our grand opening as of December 5th. So yeah, it has been a process over the last few years. And of course, due to COVID, there's been many changes, but we are definitely excited about what the Service Center represents for the city of Pomona and surrounding cities such as Laverne and Claremont as well. I'm going to go ahead and share my PowerPoint with you so you can see. Oh, it says host disabled participant screen sharing. Can you please make sure I can?
Try again.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Are you able to see it or not yet? Okay. Here we go. We should all be together on the same. Can you see it now? Okay. Just making sure. Confirming. Okay. So this is Hope for Home Service Center. our current point in time count as of the last few years, in the blue, it shows either the sheltered participants as far as housing and service center or the armory at the time. So this is definitely in the blue, the sheltered versus the unsheltered that's still on the streets that we are still trying to do outreach and assist them with their needs. You can see all the changes that the numbers have definitely fluctuated, and we've come definitely a long way to how many people have been housed as of last year. So 320 people or participants have been housed or sheltered. This is inside of our shelter. So it's two sides to it where we have women on the right and we have men on the left side. And depending on the weather outside, then participants are able to eat breakfast and lunch and dinner inside or outside. And you'll see that with the benches that we have set up for them. This is our lockers. And these are lockers for participants that are inside as well as participants that are on the street. They do have access to a locker and they're able to utilize this service. And we'll talk about the Access Center in just a minute. But yes, there is access to storing their items and for safety if they even are not a participant on site. And the building on the top there, so on the left-hand side, you'll see that happens to be the camera room where we do monitor the service center as a whole. And we're able to see live footage all day if there's anything happening, any needs that needs to be looked over. Our program managers will look at the videos. And also that's the restrooms to the right. That happens to be, I believe, the men's side. And those are the men's restrooms. We do also have, for disabled participants as well, a special restroom for them. And as you can see at the bottom, that's the showers and lockers on the inside and restrooms, how it looks on the inside. This is our communal kitchen. And we're looking forward to having our, once after COVID is lifted, for our churches and organizations to be able to not just off the food as they've been doing right now, but they would be able to utilize the kitchen as well. At this time, we have about several churches and organizations that do bring dinner, and we have also our kitchen staff that does provide dinner as well. So in the calendar, it's usually a 50-50 split between outside stakeholders really assisting and supporting us by providing dinner for us, and that's a real blessing. And these are the benches. Eventually, there will be a covering that they need to still build that hasn't happened yet, but it's in the making. This is inside the kitchen. So, yeah. And this would be building A. This is our access center. So all our partners are inside there as well. Tri-City Mental Health, East Valley, our police department, Goodwill, and Prototypes. And with that partnership, they all have their own offices. Again, due to COVID, there's been still, we're waiting for different pieces to come in together as far as when they're actually, everybody's going to be on site all the time. But East Valley has been proactive in assisting and being on site. Inside the Access Center, that is to the front, to the top right, that happens to be where our receptionist is and greeting participants as they come in off the street asking for services or needs. There's someone there to assist them. And the waiting area down below and to the right is our conference room. And through the Access Center, they are able to be screened and placed with a case manager and starting their process with one of Volunteers of America case managers, and then moving forward to what other needs they need. This is our Hope for Home campus overall. So if you can get a broad view of everything, where our lockers are, the shelter, the communal kitchen. Right behind it is also our admin building and where our program managers are. So they're close to the shelter for immediate needs. And then of course down below is the backside of the Access Center. So again, our site operator is Volunteers of America, Los Angeles. And they assist with case management and also housing services. It's housing first. That is our strong purpose and focus with our participants for our case management. That's what they assist in. With having East Valley on site, they assist with any health basic needs. And there's Tri-City Mental Health Center as well, and they have their case managers assisting in any type of emotional or any kind of just mental health needs. Their case managers are here also. And we're able to call them to come and assist if something's going on with the participant and they need further guidance or counseling. And if they're facing any other barriers, there is prototypes, and then we have their case managers to assist with any substance disorder services. And we're also very blessed to have Goodwill as a partner. They have helped several of our participants find jobs, and that's been going really, really well. And also we do have Pomona PD, Laverne, and Claremont as our law enforcement outreach that assist in, if there's anything going on in their community, they're able to drop off participants here. They have a total of, I believe, 8 beds, and they're able to get immediate assistance by contacting our program managers and also our program coordinator as well. So these are our partners, and that is the formula of Hope for Home Service Center. It is a partnership between the city, which owns the building, and as operations manager, Volunteers of America, Pomona PD, Claremont, and Laverne, and also East Valley Hospital, Tri-City Prototypes, and Goodwill. Our program services is focused on housing, and there's a coordinated entry system that they go through. It's a process of answering those questions and figuring out where the participant, their needs are. And there's outreach services as well. That we have our case management. We have people in bands for volunteers. We have bands that we have them on outreach, as far as from our homeless outreach office, which happens to be on 2040 North Gary, that also assist participants that are off the street, and also refer them here. So between the outreach office and also our access center, that's a combination. And our case managers help in finding documents that are needed, like Social Security paperwork. If our participants are missing them or lost them, they are able to assist them and take them to the Social Security office and get the necessary paperwork so that they can get the ball rolling in finding a job or housing, all those different documents that they need. Case managers are assisting in that. And again, with employment services, housing assistance, and yes, that's what our case managers do. We do have, again, basic health under East Valley Hospital, and basic primary care, and then behavioral health care through Tri-City, substance disorder, again, through prototypes. And we do a data and reporting of the monthly activity as far as who's been housed, our success stories, just the activities that are happening here on site, donations that are happening, and just the proactivity of the community and what their part in also helping the service center. So there's multifacets to our monthly data report. Monthly data report. So and you can look at some of our success stories actually at Hope for Home like page on Facebook, and I would encourage you to see that. You'll see some of the great success stories of our participants and how well they're doing. Our mission statement is Hope for Home pursues a mission of restoring hope, creating opportunity, and transforming lives of individuals who are wanting to break free from the cycle of homelessness. We bring this mission to life every day by collaboratively helping our participants break barriers to obtaining permanent housing, increasing their income, improving their health, and ultimately achieving independence. Our vision is Hope for Home maintains a vision of ending homelessness in Pomona, one person at a time. There are 5 interim housing programs currently operated at Hope for Home, which is the coordinated entry system through crisis housing. And under funding, that's the breakdown of the beds. There's 112 beds. Tri-City also has 31 crisis housing, under their crisis housing, 31 beds. And Emergency Solutions Grant PD crisis beds, 6 beds, but my also understanding is that it is 8, but I could be, yeah. I get it. I'm getting a shake from Reggie, so I'm not completely incorrect. So I think it's 8. Hope for Good Tri-City cohort is 6 beds. So that's what it is. There's 12 beds in total that PD has, but it's 6 for Pomona, and then there's another 6, so it's 2 for Laverne, 2 for Claremont. And yeah, that's the breakdown of what they're doing. So then there are 205 beds currently funded and available for use. There are also 215 total beds that can be funded. However, due to, of course, COVID, we've had to compact that number to 89. And COVID impact, our law enforcement and outreach teams distribute PPE items and offer services. There increased visible, of course, of encampments and street homelessness due to COVID. There's also been Project Room Key, which is Pomona Motel 6. It had taken on basically participants from here who were either 65 and older or had underlying health issues. And so we moved them out from our service center into Project Room Key. Since now it has been shut actually. And we, through another funding through the city of Pomona, we've been able to continue to have them sheltered at. Still, it would be not Project Room Key, it would be now Project Home Key. And it's also, through that, we were trying to help permanent housing to be found. And out of that, through the city of Pomona, they've been able to fund for 5 people at this time their own apartment. So that is a continuing process out of 27 people in total. Let's see. So Hope for Home implemented and recommended COVID health and safety protocols at H4H. We've worked closely with LA County Department of Public Health for mass COVID testing, quarantines, and recommended protocols. We've been working closely with on-site East Valley Community Health Center staff to conduct COVID testing, sampling, and again, reduction of capacity at H4H has been 89 in total. Current census at H4H is approximately about 52 people at this time, and 13 located at Project Room Key. Again, it's now Project Home Key. And also, yes, just to elaborate on the testing, that has been a weekly COVID test has been in effect every week with East Valley and also Department of Health because they come out separate times, but we've been definitely staying on that to make sure our participants are safe, staff is safe, and if there's anybody that tests positive to immediately have them quarantined. Hope for Home quarantine dates, including a safer at home order lockdown, April of 2020. That was several of our staff, and of course, participants had to adhere to all the changes at that point. Additional quarantines occurred 6/8/20 7/11/20, 8/24/20, 11/3/20, 12/3/20, and that just means that our participants are not able to leave the site, and they were to remain 2 weeks at a time or 4 weeks at a time, depending on until Department of Health lifted the quarantine. 18 of our clients have tested positive since the pandemic started. 13 on-site staff have tested positive since the pandemic has started. And we've limited, of course, the new intakes due to the quarantines. And this has, of course, impacted the staffing and resources. We continue to focus on health, safety, and removing barriers to housing. Any questions?
Describe the funding process for the 10 remaining beds. What is it once you're completely, the quarantine is lifted or the pandemic is over, what's it cost to fund a bed?
What's it cost to fund a bed? That's a good question that actually I don't have the answer to, but actually, Mr. Clark, I would have to ask you to jump in on that one. Would you please?
Sure. First of all, Mary, thank you very much for your presentation. You did a great job.
Thank
So to answer your question, sir, these beds are funded by the county and the city of Pomona. So if anyone is interested in purchasing beds, they would have to go to the city to see if they're able to purchase the beds. As far as a figure, that's something that they would have to determine.
Okay. Because my understanding was you had 10 unfunded beds. So they're like extra beds.
Well, they all are funded.
Okay.
In some fashion. Because once again, the city owns the property,
Right.
owns this facility. And so they have different entities. As far as LASA has beds, you have Tri-City have beds, we have PD with beds. So Tri-City has brought quite a few beds, and that's something that they worked out with the city.
And Tri-City, that's Claremont, Pomona, and Laverne. That's the Tri-City.
Yeah, the 3 cohorts, yes.
And how long has that been in existence? Do you know?
Well, that's been in existence. This project, as Mary says, is 8 years into the making. And so we have spent a lot of time together in putting this thing together. And one of the main purposes for this project was we understand that our homeless population has more than one barrier due to homelessness.
Sure.
So many of them have different situations. So we came together and we had meetings and with all the different partners in the city and see how we can make it a one-stop shop. So that way we can address all of our participants' barriers at the same time as we try to get them set up for to sustain permanent housing. So it's been a wonderful journey. I've been blessed to be on this journey from the very beginning to where this site was nothing here to what it looks like today, what she showed you in the pictures. We are very excited to continue moving forward with achieving the goal of making sure that we get people housed. Now, we do have contracts, sir, so you know that those county contracts, if you guys have people in your city, right, that your team of PD or sheriffs run across people and they want to refer them, they are able to do that because this is a SPA 3 contract. So the key to that is this making arrangements to get with us and to refer them here. And there's a screening process, which is nothing major, but if the person is willing to make the change of accepting a program to move them into permanent housing, this would be the site. But if they're just looking for this emergency shelter, this would not be the site. I do have other emergency shelters, which is in La Puente at Bassett Park and Hacienda Heights for women. So this is for someone that's really ready to make a change and to move forward with achieving housing.
Okay. Do you have a list of needs?
I'll let Mary share that with you.
Yes,
Yeah, I need a lot of money.
Yes. Yeah, monetary gifts are definitely welcome. And also, there's always need for hygiene kits. There's always need for clothing, brand new clothing. Due to COVID, we are not accepting any used clothing at this time. We are focused on definitely getting brand new items. So I could give you a list of what you need. I could email Diva specifically about sizes and what have you, but definitely clothing, shirts, pants, that's always a need, shoes, brand new shoes. Also flip-flops, that sounds weird, but it's actually shower shoes for our participants to utilize when they're showering. And those are only 99 cents at Walmart. And so it goes a long way to get a few of those. Also, I would say just necessary items as far as like you would imagine, like wallets, things like that they need. As far as I would say, I'm trying to think right off the top of my head. Yeah, our under clothing, definitely jackets are always a need. Just new items. That's what I can tell you for sure. And I will email Viva definitely the rest of the list. That way she can see, because we had created a special list of items, gloves, hats, beanies, things like that, to just protective wear, because that's always a need to stay warm.
Thank you. If you'd email that to Diva and she can share it with us.
Yes, I will.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Mary. We're just for time's sake, if we have time later on, we can ask more questions. But I want to thank both of you for coming in and speaking. Actually, I don't think Mr. Clark remembers, but I met him when I went and helped out one rainy day over there, and he gave me a lot of information that made me think of wanting to continue on and trying to help. Okay, so I applaud you for all the work you do, because I saw it firsthand, and it's a lot of work. So
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
you're welcome. So next, I'm going to go ahead and pass it along to Casey. Since we don't have a fast craft talk today, we'll just have the Fine Master talk.
Not a problem. Well, as your fine master, I'm here to hear from you. I want to know what's fine in your world, what's not fine in your world, or if there's somebody in your world that just needs to be told that it's not okay, that they continue to be not fine, you can encourage them as well. However you want to do it, you're going to find yourself some funds to talk. So who wants to get on a soapbox and say something about it not being fine, it being fine, or anything along those lines? Who wants to pay to talk?
I'll start. Thanks, Casey. I'm going to find myself $20 because it's fine. My wife was able, who is an elementary school teacher, was able to get her first dose of the vaccine last week, and she is scheduled to have kids back in her classroom physically on the week of April 5th. And she is extremely excited about that, getting the kids back in the classroom. And so I am fine. I'm going to find myself $20.
All right, Mike, we're excited to hear that. And I think most teachers are excited for something to shift. All right, somebody else want to talk about what's fine, what's not fine, or making something fine? I will myself go ahead, Mary.
I think I do want to, of course, give praise to our ladies, because it's International Women's Month. So it is fine to be a woman, just saying. And so, yes, and happy International Women's Month and day yesterday. So, or actually 2 days ago, the 8th. So, yes.
We celebrate with you.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to cough up $10 now. Listen carefully to this. This Sunday at my house, those of you who know where I live, I'm making my chili. And so I'm making a lot of it. And I'm going to have cake. And there's chili and cake because next week's my birthday. And so this Sunday, the only thing I'm asking is that you email me so I can slot you in a time, putting the pop-up out front and, having 5 or 6 people at a time rather than having everybody at once. So there'll be lots of chili and cake from 10 a.m. until it's gone sometime after dark. So email me and get your slot. Get it today. That's it. And I'll pay $10 for my own birthday.
I'm going to find myself $5 in celebration of Raymond emerging out of a pandemic season to actually be inviting people to his house to eat together. It's been a long year in coming. So I think it's worth it's fine that Raymond is reemerging. He's going to eat with people. Man.
Well, I'm going to have PPE gear on. I'm going to have like a hazmat suit on and clean up with disinfectant. So don't get too excited. And for those
Congratulations, Raymond, you're moving.
And those of you who want to know how old I am, my oldest grandson is 24. So that's how old I am.
Raymond, how much weight did you lift? It was a couple years back.
For my 60th birthday, I benched 350.
Pause there. I'm wondering if you're going to lift 350 scoops.
I have that. You'll see it if you come by. I've got my home gym, and the max I do on that now with the bar weights is 180. But then I do 21 different exercises with the weightlifting. So my wife, I just get to open tops of shit now. That's all I get to do. So yes, thank you for I did 300 on my 60th birthday. I wanted to do 300 on my 61st. I was prepared, but the pandemic struck and they shut the gym down. And so I would have done it again.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
I'll find myself $5. My fine is I actually went to NPR gym right there in San Dimas, if those that know where it's at. I actually used to work with the owner's mother years and years ago when I used to teach Zumba, and a friend coaxed me into going. So I took one class, it was fine, got my butt kicked. And she said, you should stay for the second one. So I did, and my friend left me there. So I was by myself with people that I knew. But I have bruises all over my arms and my legs from lifting. And the fact that Raymond said that he lifted 350, so I was trying to cheat because I was at a point that I couldn't lift anything else. So I went and grabbed 6 pounds. The little weights were 6 pounds, but by the time I grabbed them, I was already done with that workout. So, so I was trying to cheat, but I ended up not cheating myself, if anything. When I finally figured out, I should have just grabbed the lower weights, I was already done. So, but that's my story.
$5 gets you a bowl of chili on Saturday. Well, our Rotary is fine, doing well, and continues to move forward to change the world. Thanks for joining us in our Fine Master time today.
Thank you so much, Casey. So next is Action 360, and I'll pass the first, the first bullet to Raymond.
So coming out of PETS, actually it was a good experience. The Zoom for 16 hours. I will tell you that the day began with a man they had hired to sing our strategic goals to us. So that was quite interesting. But what they did was they had all the breakout sessions, and they created a virtual briefcase so you could go up and you could grab all of the documents rather than the handouts. And then the speakers were very good in the breakout sessions. The discussions were excellent. So what I thought I would do is I've selected some of the documents here. I've picked one for every week. And what I'd like to do during Action 360 is go over it with the club for 3 purposes. First is it forces me during that week to make sure I take a deep dive on that document so I'm prepared. It'll allow me to educate you a little bit about Rotary International. I think that'll strengthen the club. And thirdly, of course, to the audience to find out what's going on with Rotary. And my first choice was looking at the, if I can get it to pull up, the Rotary strategic plan. This guy actually sang this to us, but the vision for this year: together we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe in our communities and in ourselves. They have 4 pillars, which for the strategic priorities and objectives, which is really interesting because we were right on board with this early on. This is for 2021, 2022. Increase our impact. Of course, we've been doing that very well. Expand our reach. We've done that with the YouTube channel, community, the community television, and now the podcast we're going to start. Enhance participation and engagement. And then finally, increase our ability to adapt. So these are the strategic priorities and objectives of Rotary for the year. And it still talks about the core values. Interesting discussion during one of the meetings was people lamenting the change. And I just shook my head and was my turn. They asked me to speak. And I said, well, I don't think anything has changed. Rotary's core values have remained the same. Fellowship, integrity, diversity, service, and leadership. Those are our core values. That did not change. Our mode of delivery of our meetings has changed, but we have not changed as an organization. It's more than 100 years old. It has survived a pandemic, et cetera, et cetera. So that is your kind of overview on the Rotary strategic goals. Back to you, Diva.
So next is the BUSD Welcome Back projects. So it's back to you.
Tonight. So tonight, 6:30 is the meeting. I just got an email from Carl. He will be present, as I know Sandra will be, Casey will be. I had the district go out and they've given me a spreadsheet with all the schools, the principal, a contact person, a phone number, a location for the arch, and the school colors. So we're prepared for that. I was also given an option. I'll show it tonight at the meeting. It came from Dan, and it's a lady who does welcome back giant sign things. And they're really cool looking, but have you seen what I was talking about, Casey? I see you shaking your head. They're like $75. That covers all 8 schools. We don't have to do nothing. I'm like, well, I don't know, man. I like, yeah, everybody's like, yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to show those tonight. And if we can get a consensus on that's the direction to go, then maybe that's what we do. And we think about taking the rest of the money that we had committed, because that'll give us a $300 or $400, a couple $100 left. Maybe we think about including the junior high schools and the high schools in something. So we have tonight's meeting. Please be there. I need all of your input. And I'd like somebody to take charge, and I would just like to facilitate the whole thing. So who wants to take charge?
Quit pointing at me, Raymond. Raymond, I like the idea. I know we'll talk about it tonight, but I think we do, instead of the balloon arches, but I do think we use balloons, but just have them go straight up from the sides. We can tie a string on them. So maybe 30, 40 balloons straight up. That saves a lot of cost because we don't need the arches. And it also saves a lot of time because those are easier to assemble. So getting the signs and maybe some balloons on the side might be a great way to go.
I was thinking that we got that company to do it. And then we had our volunteers attach balloons to the school colors. And I was going to ask on the side, I was like to order maybe 40 giant Rotary, they make Rotary Mylar balloons. And I was thinking about getting those, and we could tie those one at each school. So we had some, some brand presence there. But we'll talk tonight about that. But that's a good project. So that's what we got coming up with that. I think any other questions on the Bonita back to school? And for our visitors, our what is it, K through 5 are going back to school on April 5th. And we want to cover all eight of our elementary schools with a welcome back balloon arch and or sign for the children, primarily because I think we see the children as leading us out of the pandemic as they go back to school. So that's what we're doing. Any other questions? Derek, your hand was up, or were you just swatting a fly? All right, back to you, Diva.
Okay, so the House of Ruth project. So I spoke to Rhonda Beltran, and she said that the list on there, even though it's dated, the wish list on their website, even though I saw that it was dated like 2017, she said it is updated. But that's exactly what they need. So I mentioned, if the microwaves would be something that they would be okay with. She said that they would be very grateful. I did reach out to your wife. She didn't know I was calling her. So, but then she realizes the more that I talked to her, I joked with her. I said, yeah, I was trying to recruit you. You should join Rotary. So,
I did tell her though.
No, she did. Afterwards, she did say, oh yeah, he did mention this to me. So what she did say is if I can put together a proposal so that she can bring it forth to the organization. And after I got off the phone with her, I posted, I hope everybody's okay with this, but I posted it on my Facebook page. I just put a little thing like, hey friends, we're trying to help out this women's shelter. Just want to know that if you know anybody that'd be interested in joining in with us to help fill out or give them everything on their wish list, message me so I can give you more information. I actually got a lot of responses, people wanting to do it personally, people telling me, hey, if you put together a proposal, I'll send it to the owner or my boss and see if we could just do it as a group. So I went ahead and did, I haven't written out the proposal yet, but we'll go ahead and I just wanted to let you know that I put it out there, and it sounds like we can possibly get other organizations to help us to get more items. Any thoughts, anything?
Just so everyone will know, we are going to have House of Ruth here on the 24th, but they're also going to come back with another program on May 5th, and we're going to make the official presentation of the microwaves and whatever else we're able to provide them for their program on May 5th. And that's in the calendars already.
Okay. Anybody have any questions, anything else on that?
To the calendar.
Okay.
Do you see it?
I see it.
Good.
So we have the calendar pretty much filled through April, and then we have the 1st of May. So if you have anybody that you can think of that you want to join in to speak, please, have them fill up the calendar. One thing, Raymond, that I'm trying to do is see if we can get another speaker from the state to see if they can fill up some more, but I was figuring, and it doesn't look like, oh no, I didn't give you the date actually, did I?
You did.
Oh yeah, there it is, Erica Lewis. Okay, so the Department of the State, I wanted to see how that talk went, unless you're okay with me requesting more, because I did send her our calendar.
I would request more.
Okay.
A couple of important notes for everybody. March 17th, next weekend, is in person, 17:30 at the park. It's our member induction. And also, we will have coming back during the club assembly from Williston, North Dakota, the Salvation Army. If you did not get that email, he said that we helped almost 1,000 people.
That's awesome.
1,000 people we don't know and will never meet got a warm coat because of us. And I think that's pretty awesome, man. I like the part they don't know us. They can't ask for more. Then we got Crossroads, the Foothill Gold Line project coming in the 21st. And then Erica Lewis, Department of State on African Affairs from the federal government will be here on the 28th, and then the House of Ruth. Lastly, May needs to be fleshed out, so that'd be nice to have the Department of State come back, or if you have a programmatic thing you'd like us to put in. Also, the club assembly on June 9th. On June 9th, that's going to be essentially our 61st anniversary is that day. And so I've already arranged the city to get us a proclamation, which will be read by the mayor himself. I'm going to invite all past Rotarians and past guests to come and help us celebrate. We will read the names of the founding members. And Diva, we will be presenting you with your kickout gift because your term as president is just about over.
They give me the boot.
And I'm verbalizing that because I think we need to begin to do that because this has become a podcast and they can't see it. We've got to make sure we're also saying at the same time we're
right. Okay. Perfect. So everybody, you see May. Let's fill it up.
We've had great programs, man. Let's get some more.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Raymond. Okay, so now, well, you just talked about the club assembly, the large donation. So we're talking about Wally Bucks?
Yeah, it's important to be here on April 7th. That'll be a club assembly instead of a program. You know, we received the large donation. And so we have to talk about what we want to do with that $10,000. And I think all of us have to be engaged in that conversation. And quite frankly, it's not more teacher mini grants. It's not more this, it's not more that. It's something different for us. And so we need to have all voices heard, bring your ideas, and let's hash it out. And
Perfect.
also I'm excited about that because I believe that that is the seed for greater things.
Absolutely. Thank you, Raymond. So next I'm going to pass it to Mike for the four-way test.
It's coming, Mike.
All right. All right. The Rotary four-way test is a test put together by Rotarians that should be applied to everything we think, say, and do. We should think of this as sort of a four-way intersection, and we're trying to get into that middle spot. So the four-way test is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? If it passes three tests and fails one, then it's not something that we can be comfortable moving forward with, whether it's in business, personal life. Passing all four of those tests, we can be assured that what we're doing is in everyone's best interest and is going to result in a positive outcome. And that is today's four-way test.
Thank you, Mike. So next, I just want to, again, thank Mary and Reggie for joining us today. Is there anything we have a couple minutes, is there anything you'd like to add to what you presented to us today, or does anybody have any questions for them?
Yeah, first of all, I would like to say thank you for having us. And Mr. Foster, I want to say congratulations on your new position, sir, and your birthday coming up. What a deal. It's wonderful to have another birthday, right? Just so you know that Volunteers America have quite a few programs throughout the county. And here in SPA 3, we do have other shelters. As I mentioned, we have the Bassett Park and the Puente, and we have also the Hacienda Heights for Women shelter. And actually, because of the weather, what happens is I end up opening up another project, which is an augment shelter, which happened to open yesterday in Altadena. And that shelter is able to house 47 people up to Friday morning due to the rain. So these are augment shelters. This particular one is an augment shelter. It only pops up when the county asks us to open up to get people off the street during the rain.
Mr. Clark?
Yes, sir.
We have a keen interest in homelessness in this club. We have talked about this for a better part of 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
When we get you to come back in May, and I'm thinking May 12th, and give us a really broad overview of what VOA has going on, give us 20, 25 minutes so we get a better understanding of what you do so we can figure out a way we can help you. Does that make sense to you?
That makes perfect sense to me. And also, we want to talk about what we can do for you.
Okay.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Because what we know is that we have this situation in all cities. I don't know what your homeless population there looks like, but I'm quite sure there is one, and how you want to assist them, right? So we just want to work together and do what's right to assist people that's in need. I love the fact that Rotary clubs, I work with a lot of Rotary clubs that assist us in a lot of ways. And I know your mission and your passion is about helping people and the community. So if we don't work together, it's kind of hard for us to pull it off. So I look forward to coming back and seeing and letting you know of all of our different programs we have. So we have a lot of rapid rehousing programs, and Mary mentioned about the Project Room Keys and the Project Home Keys, And so there's a lot of different outlets for our most unfortunate folks out there that's actually looking for some assistance.
Mary, would you please send my email to Mr. Clark? And Mr. Clark, if you would email me, I will your calendar in for May 12th, and we'll just get connected and get that firmed up, sir. Thank you very much.
And Mary will definitely take care of that. I wear a lot of hats, as you see, and I'm all over the place, but I am more than welcome and willing to come back in to be of service. Okay?
Thank you so much, Mr. Clark. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. Again, thank you, both of you, Mr. Clark and Mary, for spending the afternoon with us, or your lunch hour with us, because the information is great. And like Raymond said, this is something that's been passionate, that we're all in the club passionate of helping out with, is homelessness. So again, thank you everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I don't know about you, but it's sunny outside my window here in Upland. So have a great rest of your day, and see you next week.
Okay, take care, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.